Greetings, EAC Council members, and welcome. I would like to thank you for watching this and other recordings in preparation for our hybrid annual meeting happening on Saturday, July 29th and Sunday, July 30th, 2023. We'll be on Zoom and in person in New Orleans, Louisiana. As you watch this and other reports, please write down any questions you have. Your questions can be addressed during the summaries of these presentations that will occur during the live sessions on Saturday, or of course, you can always contact me at any time with your questions. Also, please remember to reserve time to review the reaccreditation documentation for the undergraduate degree programs at Western Carolina University, the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire, and Benedict College. Logistics for Saturday and Sunday. For our virtual attendees, we ask that you sign into the Zoom sessions at least 5 minutes before the meeting start time of 8 a.m. Central on both Saturday and Sunday. Chair Murphy will be leading the meeting with Leslie as support. If you have questions during the meetings, please raise your hand in Zoom and we will recognize you. You can also use the virtual chat room to ask questions. We will have someone review the chat throughout the meetings. For voting, please also use the chat box. For open voting, you can reply to everyone, and for closed voting, please only reply to me, Leslie Mitchell. We will use waiting rooms for program directors to wait in and any council members who need to recuse themselves during the closed sessions related to reaccreditation. For those joining us on site, the meeting will take place in the Newberry Ascot Room in the Hilton Riverside, New Orleans. EHAC will be providing $30 in breakfast or snack money rather than providing breakfast and coffee. So please prepare to have breakfast and coffee or tea on your own prior to the beginning of the meeting at 8 a.m. Central. There will be water stations available throughout the 2 days. We, as usual, have a packed agenda to move through during the weekend. There will be 15 or 20-minute breaks in the morning and afternoon with lunch in between. Again, EHAC will not be providing any snack food, only the $30 in snack money for the weekend. As mentioned, we have a packed agenda. A few highlights for Saturday include the annual business meeting, budget approval, program reports, with brief protocol visits from AHAP, NEHA, and COSTEP. Accreditation actions, board elections, we'll review the final draft of the undergraduate requirements revisions and the initial draft of the graduate guidelines revisions, and finally, recognition of our fantastic volunteer council members. Sunday's schedule will focus on committee updates and restructuring, a further discussion of future annual meeting structure, and the late morning and afternoon will be dedicated to strategic visioning and planning for EHAC's future. This effort will be led by Councilmember Wendell Moore. I hope you will take time to review all of the preparatory documents so that we can have a fruitful discussion. While next year's report will reflect some changes including gain and loss of degree programs, our current numbers remain the same as reported in 2022. Currently, EHAC accreditation includes 37 degree programs consisting of 28 undergraduate programs and 9 graduate programs. These 37 degree programs are housed in a total of 29 different colleges and universities spread across the nation as shown on this map. Undergraduate degree programs are in orange, schools with both undergraduate and graduate degree programs are in blue, and those with only graduate degree programs are in green. This slide lists all EHAC accredited programs and their accreditation term end dates. As you can see, there are 11 degree programs up for reaccreditation in 2024. We will need all hands on deck, as the saying goes, for self-study reviews and site visits. As I mentioned earlier, there are a number of degree programs that have been forced to develop closeout plans due to administration concerns about enrollment numbers and graduation rates. Mississippi Valley State University's undergraduate EH program will close in this summer, and IUPUI's program will close in 2024. Program closure has also been discussed for undergraduate programs at East Central University in Oklahoma, Ohio University, and Texas Southern University. We are working to turn this trend around, and there are a number of programs that have shown strong interest in applying for EHAC accreditation in the next 1 to 3 years. These include undergraduate programs at Brigham Young University, Lamar University in Texas, and at several HBCUs, including Morehouse School of Medicine. In addition, the University of Washington's Master Public Health and Environmental Health program will be applying for accreditation this year. Moving on to annual update survey statistics based on the information provided by degree programs in March of this year. Undergraduate enrollment numbers continued their downward trend, with graduate numbers falling as well. These numbers are not unexpected, as many schools are experiencing university-wide enrollment declines. Undergraduate graduation numbers continued their slow decline this year, along with graduate graduation numbers that actually took a significant drop as well. This graph shows the overall number of female students has outnumbered males for the last 12 years. It is interesting to note that the opposite is true for environmental health faculty, where males consistently outnumber females in both graduate and undergraduate degree programs. EHAC added additional gender options to the annual update survey this year, as shown in slide 12. Moving on to diversity within EHAC accredited degree programs, this slide shows a continued downward trend in overall undergraduate student diversity numbers since 2019 and 2020, with the distribution of diverse students staying roughly the same among Hispanic or Latino, Black or African American, and Asian students. Please note that the Alaska Native or Native American category was updated to American Indian or Alaska Native in 2022. Along with adding the category unknown at a program's request. Graduate student diversity numbers remained high for Black or African American students, with similar trends in Asian and Hispanic student numbers to 2021 and 2022. Note a sharp increase in the other or not available category this year. The overall decrease in graduate and undergraduate students is reflected in the drop in the number of diverse students reported this year. Program directors reported challenges to enrollment that included post-COVID impacts like the move to online courses and decline in international students, the difficulty of EHAC criteria, lack of EH awareness among high school students in the community, competition with public health degree programs, and an overall decrease in enrollment university-wide as well as nationwide. As will be mentioned later, EHAC is working with several partners to identify and implement effective methods for raising awareness of the great need for environmental health practitioners and how students can benefit and find great satisfaction from EH careers with a foundational EHAC accredited degree. Moving to 2022-2023 activities, committee work has been prolific this past year. The Undergraduate Requirements Revision Committee has completed the final draft criteria for final review and approval by the Council. The Graduate Guidelines Revision Committee has completed a significantly updated initial draft of the graduate criteria. The Nominations Committee developed a great slate of candidates for Council this year. The Bylaws and Policy Committee revised reporting obligations to address program director succession planning, and the Fundraising Committee laid groundwork for more intensive fundraising that may result from strategic planning. The undergraduate and graduate revised criteria will be discussed on Saturday afternoon. Please pay special attention to the draft documents in preparation for this discussion. A new initiative that began at the 2022 AEC is known as the Group of Five. In an effort to bring a number of key core environmental health organizations together to work toward a common goal of growing and improving the environmental health workforce, I asked representatives from NEHA, AHAP, and AAS to discuss forming an alliance to identify potential priority areas where the associations can be more effective in working together and in a deliberate way to enhance the environmental health profession and professional. The focus was to identify potential priority areas where each workforce associations could be more effective working together in a more deliberate fashion. EHAC's leadership organized the meeting and invited representatives from the other organizations. The topics discussed include combining efforts to support and promote the importance of EHAC accreditation to the growth of a competent environmental health workforce and growth of the National Environmental Public Health Internship Program, or NIPHIP. Invitations were extended to CDC, and also APHA has joined the effort. Led by Councilmember Walford Roberts, the Group of Five is developing a strategic plan for the future of the EH profession, practice, education, and workforce, which will include actions that the collaborating organizations will pursue to the following vision. And that vision is to have a well-educated, well-credentialed, well-supported, and well-valued environmental health practitioners. Dr. Roberts has written a current situation report that will serve as a valuable resource for moving forward with developing goals and objectives and an action plan. Thank you so much, Dr. Roberts. Other activities involved managing reaccreditation processes for 3 degree programs. And those are happening this year: Benedict College, Eau Claire, and Western Carolina University. The opportunity for program recruitment focused on historically Black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, developed in the fall of 2022 when NEHA's NIPHIP program manager introduced me to Dr. Ayanna Perkins, Chief Health Equity Officer with the National Center for Environmental Health at the CDC. Dr. Perkins worked with her staff and fellow HBCU alumni at the CDC to develop contacts at 5 HBCUs. We used these personal contacts and a few personal introductions to develop interest in Dr. Perkins' Health Equity Work Group and in EHAC accreditation. While extremely time-intensive, this effort has resulted in significant interest in EHAC accreditation from 3 HBCUs. Morehouse School of Medicine is creating an MPEH program. Tuskegee would like to create an undergraduate EH program, and Howard University is interested as well. I will be working with these universities into the future. Additionally, NEHA provided travel funding for Dr. Dave Gilkey, Lieutenant Commander Kai Elgatoon, and Dr. Jesse Bliss with NEHA to make an on-site recruitment visit to Brigham Young University, and for Dr. Tim Murphy to make a visit to Lamar University in Texas. BYU is very interested in pursuing accreditation, but must increase their enrollment in the program before they can apply. Lamar University would be starting an EH program from scratch. John Schrader with the Texas Environmental Health Association has made introductions to Lamar and has been a proponent of accreditation to the faculty there. Lastly, Dr. Walford Roberts connected myself and Dr. Murphy with Virginia State University and also attended an introductory presentation for VSU this spring. VSU is interested in creating a graduate EH program, and we will keep in touch into the fall. We kicked off strategic visioning and planning efforts this spring with an extensive survey to assess EHAC's environmental situation, a SWOT analysis, if you will. 33 program directors and council members responded to the survey, which the planning committee is using to create a structure to work from during the Sunday of the annual meeting. Dr. Wendell Moore has been facilitating this effort and will be leading the discussion on Sunday to develop vision, goals, and objectives focused on growing the capacity of the EHAC organization, growing the number of EHAC accredited programs, and growing the environmental health workforce with well-educated, well-trained, and practice-oriented graduates. Active partnerships include those with AHAP, NEHA, the newly merged and named National Council for Environmental Health and Equity, or EH Council, and the Board for Global Health Credentialing. AHAP is EHAC's primary partner and the supporter of EHAC accreditation and EHAC accredited degree programs. EHAC holds a non-voting position on their board, which I fill in place of the general chair. While AHAP has increased its support efforts for accredited programs, student recruitment in particular, and continues to support students with the Student Research Competition and Student Environmental Health Association, the organization is struggling financially. EHAC will be working with AHAP to address the current situation and determine how to move forward to ensure the programs and students continue to be recruited and supported. The Environmental Health and Equity Collaborative has merged with the Environmental Health Partnership Council to form the National Council for Environmental Health and Equity, or the EH Council. The EH Council is supported by the CDC and managed by the American Public Health Association. The EH Council is a group of environmental health professionals from federal, state, local, academic, and nonprofit entities acting as a unified voice for environmental health and equity. The EH Council serves shares a vision to protect the public's health by coordinating and leveraging our collective power to advance health equity and elevate the value of environmental health. I served as chair of the Workforce and Education Work Group and the former Collaborative, and will work with the Council to raise public and decision-maker awareness of the value and need for the practice of environmental health. EHAC's involvement is important for awareness of who we are and what we do among both nonprofit and governmental entities. Leadership of both groups are at this table. Further, our presence makes certain that the need for educational and career-oriented support is emphasized and promoted. Two major efforts of the former Collaborative's Workforce and Education Work Group included the publishing of a special report in the May 2023 Journal of Environmental Health entitled Increasing Diversity in Graduate Programs. This article resulted from the committee work involving conducting listening sessions with graduate students regarding their experience in education as an underserved minority. The second effort involved awarding the second annual Inclusion and Diversity for Equitable Advancement in Environmental Health, or the IDEA Award, to a small grassroots nonprofit in Baltimore known as Backyard Base Camp. Backyard Base Camp works with youth and adults to get them outside in order to care for their health and their community's health. Check them out, backyardbasecamp.org. I also served on the Collaborative's Communication Work Group. Their latest effort focused on providing public health actions to make change. A fact sheet entitled Achieving Environmental Health Equity, the Need for and Opportunities for Public Health Action is a fact sheet providing a description and examples of health disparities and their systemic and structural causes, and a series of opportunities for action for public health organizations. This was a Herculean effort resulting in impactful suggestions for boots-on-the-ground opportunities to take action to improve environmental health equity. EHAC and NEHA have been longtime partners, and that relationship continues to evolve. Our current focus is increasing the number of applicants to the NIPIP program. While funding was significantly increased last year, the money is connected to the COVID relief funding and is subject to clawbacks. The more applicants and success stories we have, the more reason there is for CDC to fight to retain the funding for this program. The program now has 3 cycles: fall, spring, and summer. There are on-site, hybrid, and virtual opportunities, and students can prioritize health departments in their region if desired, and there is potential for expansion into U.S. territories as well. NEHA, via NIPIP funding, has also been supportive of program recruitment efforts, particularly those associated with HBCUs. Also, NEHA's Dr. Jesse Bliss accompanied a site visit to Brigham Young University this past year. Chair Murphy and I have met with Dr. Dave Dijak many times throughout this year to solidify and grow our relationship with NEHA. It is important that there is a pipeline for students to the profession, and we are working to strengthen that. EHAC has established a partnership with the Board of Global Health Credentialing, which once engaged will provide additional benefits for students enrolled in accredited degree programs. I have listed the major benefits BGC will provide to students and graduates on this slide, which include reduced work experience requirements to sit for their QEP exam, providing graduates who pass the General Environmental Science exam with the designation of environmental professional in training, and we look forward to EHAC students and graduates making use of these benefits. What's in the works for the coming year? Assuming that the final undergraduate requirements are approved by the Council this year, we will finalize any changes and begin implementation of the criteria, which will probably take place over the next 2 years. The Graduate Guidelines Revision Committee will continue its work based upon discussions at the annual meeting, so I encourage you to review the Graduate Guidelines revisions very closely, as the document has undergone significant revisions. Completion of a short and long-term strategic plan for EHAC will be a primary focus of 2022, 23, and 24, along with development of a business plan to support fundraising related to the goals and objectives of the strategic plans. I will continue to work with the Group of 5 to develop a broader strategy for workforce support. HBCU recruitment will continue into next year as the 3 programs that are interested in pursuing accreditation will need mentorship. A large portion of the time will be dedicated to management of 11 recreditations and possible initial accreditation applications. This will be a big job and will require a great deal of coordination among degree programs and council self-study reviewers and site visitors. We will need everyone to be involved in the effort this year, so please sign up. Lastly, a tremendous thank you to the EHAC Board of Directors and especially our General Chair, Tim Murphy, who has served out his second term as General Chair. Dr. Murphy has been intricately involved in the workings of EHAC this year, making an on-site recruitment visit to Lamar University in Texas, attending numerous virtual recruitment sessions, participating in the Group of 5, and in initial strategic planning and weekly staff meetings. Thank you, Tim. As with each of you, these officers care deeply about EHAC's mission to create workforce-ready environmental health professionals, and they put in a great deal of effort to support EHAC's efforts. Once again, thank you for viewing this presentation in preparation for the meeting, and please remember to review your agenda, revised criteria, and policy revision documents, not to mention the reaccreditation-related site visit reports. Lastly, please write down any questions you have, as you will have a chance to ask them during my summary on Saturday morning, July 29, 2023. And again, of course, you can contact me with questions at any time. Take care, and we'll see you soon.